When people hear the term evil YouTubers, they instantly think of those who've repeatedly been involved in controversies or had many unconfirmed allegations made against them. It seems that for every well-loved and respected YouTuber like PewDiePie or Markiplier, there's also those who thrive off of people's hatred for them, like the Paul brothers. However, there are some YouTubers out there who have committed some truly deplorable acts, such as sexual abuse, animal cruelty, and even murder. So in this video, we'll be discussing 11 of the worst YouTubers. Few YouTubers have garnered as much heat for their actions online as Jason Matthew Ether, better known of course as JStation. Even before his infamy on YouTube, he was apparently disliked by all of his colleagues at the Costco he worked at. He had more complaints made against him than any other employee at that particular branch's history. He was also known for being emotionally abusive to his girlfriend at the time, keyed a woman's car because her daughter didn't break up with her boyfriend for him, harassed everyone he came into contact with, and pushed away everyone in his life, including his own mother. He first gained attention on YouTube for his 3 AM videos, which, while they helped his channel grow very quickly, received massive backlash for how blatantly fake and tasteless they were, as he'd usually pretend to contact a recently deceased celebrity with a Ouija board. The most infamous video he made trying to capitalize on a famous person's recent death was his video about Etika, which he made mere hours after the latter's death. In the video, Jason does not do the Ouija board challenge at 3 AM as normal. Instead, he explains about almost dying, quote, 1 week ago at the time of creating the video.
Look, man, I almost died like a week ago, bro. For real, bruh. I'm up in my car right now. I'm ready to die, bro. I feel like I'm gonna get murdered, bruh.
He even goes as far as to say, if you don't feel how Etika did, you don't have depression.
YouTubers just putting, I'm depressed, guys. I'm depressed. I'm breaking down. I got depression. Or I do something bad. It's because I was depressed. He's hard on that shit because you know what? It's true, bro. These YouTubers are doing this, making 5 different videos about being depressed. Bro, I'm sad too, bro. But I'm not about to say I got depression, dude. Because you know what, man? If you didn't feel like Etika did, you don't got depression, my dude. You don't got depression. You're doing it for attention. So next time you're sad, suck it up, bruh. And just give your fans what they want to see.
Essentially mocking people who suffer from depression. JStation also talks about how YouTubers claim they were friends with Etika, but he says that they were lying and doing it for attention.
If it's not money, it's for attention. Don't act like you're the guy's best friend, because you weren't, bro. Don't act like he was the most best person and you can vouch for him, because you can't, bro. Because you don't know him.
JStation changed the name of this video several times due to the backlash he received for it. A day after uploading the video, Jason changed the video's title to "None of you YouTubers donated yet, shame," and changed his own pinned comment in this video, claiming to have donated more to the charity choice of Etika's mother and that suicide is an issue he deeply cares about, while still keeping the comment, "1 dislike equals 2 prayers for Etika." He had also uploaded another video titled "I Needed to Say This," where he claims Etika had, quote, changed his life, that his death, quote, hit him so hard, and that he felt, quote, a connection with the whole story. The video amassed over 17,000 dislikes in 7 hours, with over 142,000 views. Ironically, in his previous video, he says he never even knew Etika.
I did not know Etika. I didn't even watch his videos, dude.
JStation hit an all-time low in January 2020, when he uploaded 2 videos entitled "My Girlfriend Alexia Died, Rest in Peace" and "Saying Goodbye to My Girlfriend Alexia, Rest in Paradise." Unsurprisingly, many people were quick to call out JStation for monetizing videos on his girlfriend's death, plugging his secondary channel, and even leaving links to his merch store. A few days later, JStation uploaded a video trying to speak to her using a Ouija board.
What's poppin', guys? Back with another 3 AM challenge. As you guys know, my girlfriend Alexia just passed away in a tragic accident, guys. I cannot get over her, guys. I miss her so freaking much. A ton of you guys actually been commenting on my videos to talk to her on the Ouija board, guys.
Eventually, he took these videos down and uploaded a video in which he admitted that he'd made the whole story up and that Alexia was alive. Alexia uploaded a video to her channel in which she revealed some rather concerning details about her relationship with JStation, such as him being abusive to her and her only doing videos with him because she was afraid of him. JStation attempted to silence her by downloading this video, uploading it to his channel and then filing a copyright claim against her. In February of the same year, J-Station was arrested for faking Alexia's death and also for assault charges. He announced he would be quitting YouTube, but returned on a gaming channel called 666, which mostly focused on horror gaming and reactions. Eventually, it would seem YouTube had finally had enough of him, and terminated both of his channels for violating the site's terms of service. He attempted to appeal this decision, but YouTube refused to reinstate his channels. Since then, he's mostly been active on Twitter and Instagram. Considering J-Station has proven time and again that he will do whatever he can to gain attention and money, regardless of the consequences, I think we can all agree that his termination is very well deserved, and hopefully we'll never see his face on this site again. When people think of hated YouTubers, Onision usually ranks at the top of most people's lists, as he's been despised by the community for many years now. Considering that he has been on this site for 15 years as of the making of this video, it's not surprised that he's been involved with almost every type of controversy there is. His first major controversy came in 2011 while he was dating Canadian singer-songwriter Shiloh Hoganson. In the summer of 2011, he uploaded a video called Shiloh Forgot Me, where he said she was suffering from memory loss of up to 3 years. Naturally, Onision received backlash for not seeking emergency medical help for Shiloh, instead of filming her while she was clearly distressed and frightened. The cause of her memory loss was due to a seizure, meaning Onision used his girlfriend's possibly life-threatening experience for views. In 2011, Onision faced rape allegations from Adrian Jurgensen. He handled these allegations very poorly, straight up calling Adrian a slut who slept with over 20 men and was therefore, quote, incapable of being raped. This led to thousands of people petitioning either his YouTube partnership being revoked or him being banned from the site entirely. He's also guilty of animal cruelty, as he is responsible for the death of his pet Russian tortoise, Reptar, after leaving him outside in a plastic container exposed to high temperatures. This created a greenhouse effect and robbed the container of oxygen, effectively suffocating the tortoise. Naturally, Onision did everything he could to avoid taking responsibility for his pet's death, going as far as to blame his viewers for it by saying that they were just as guilty as him because they ate meat, which obviously is completely irrelevant, and even blamed his neighbours, saying Reptar died because they were noisy. Beginning in 2019, Chris Hansen, a notable TV personality known for his To Catch a Predator series, created his YouTube channel and began a months-long investigation into Onision, documenting the abuse of his ex-girlfriends and his alleged grooming of underage girls. Since this began, Onision has threatened Chris Hansen both directly and indirectly, and calls Chris, quote, a stalker and a hater, due to Chris simply documenting Onision's controversial online activities. After interviewing several of Onision's victims, Chris took it upon himself to fly to Washington State in order to get Onision's side of the story on January 18, 2020. However, as Chris went to Onision's front porch and knocked on the door, Onision called the police on Chris and claimed that Chris was, quote, harassing him online and had started an online campaign of harassment against him and his family.
Okay, and do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
This would be a great opportunity for you guys to tell your side of the story here, talk about the controversy, the allegations.
Chris is still producing content around Onision and is in contact with the FBI to potentially open a case against him. In January 2021, after well over a decade of being a YouTube partner, all 3 of his active channels were demonetized. This came after he was effectively shadow banned, with YouTube not promoting his content, as none of his recent videos were getting anywhere near as many views as he was getting in his prime. Following this, he announced that he would be leaving YouTube and Twitter. After so many years of him causing controversy after controversy, it was only a matter of time before YouTube finally caused him to leave on his own. Now, I know that a lot of you watching right now are probably thinking that J-Station and Onision may not be that evil. In all honesty, compared to the rest of the people you'll be seeing in this video, they are quite tame. Trust me, it only gets worse from here. Marcus Wilton is a Belgian YouTuber better known as Lionmaker, who began his career in 2013. From the beginning, he focused on uploading Minecraft content. And with Minecraft being the hugely popular gaming juggernaut that it is, this caused his channel to rise in popularity very quickly. Over the course of only 2 years, his channel grew to over 500,000 subscribers. In 2015, however, his world would come crashing down when Keemstar uploaded a video called Lionmaker Asks Minecraft Kid for Nudes, in which Keem interviewed the mother of a 13-year-old fan of Lionmaker who'd been asked for nudes by Lionmaker himself. Naturally, following this video, Lionmaker attempted some damage control on Twitter, saying he wasn't the one who asked for those images and that he'd been hacked. However, in December 2015, another minor, 15-year-old Henry HD, leaked a Skype conversation that he'd had with Lionmaker, in which the latter had asked him to, quote, have fun with him. In the same month, it was revealed that Lionmaker had been in an online relationship with a 15-year-old girl named Paige the Panda, who regularly appeared in his videos. With all of this evidence against him, Keemstar uploaded a short video in which he told him to leave the Minecraft community. At this point, Lionmaker pretty much lost his mind, admitted to the allegations against him, and posted a nude photo of Paige the Panda for everyone on Twitter to see. Whatever minuscule chance he had of redemption was crushed after an action like that. Somehow, his channel continued growing, and by the end of 2017, he'd reached 800,000 subscribers. However, in January 2018, his channel was terminated, and he more or less dropped off the map. In December of that year, Paige the Panda uploaded a video entitled My Experience with Lionmaker, in which she discussed her relationship with him, revealing that she was with him from the age of 14 to the age of 17, and that he was abusive towards her.
Took him to court because for 3 years of my life we were in an online relationship, and in those 3 years it was basically just abuse, mental and sexual kind, so, you know, yeah, he went to jail before the whole court thing, and it kind of made us cut ties, although we had been in contact while I was in prison. We had sent like letters to each other, but eventually I saw the light.
Considering everyone had seen him post an explicit photo of her on Twitter, it's safe to say that she was not making any of this up. He attempted to make a comeback on a new channel that he made following the termination of his original account in 2018, but that account was also taken down on September 29, 2020. With his reputation in shambles, he's more or less completely vanished off the internet. Austin Jones is a former musician who was active on YouTube between 2007 and 2017. He began his career at the age of 15, uploading covers of well-known artists such as Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, and 21 Pilots. These videos helped him amass a subscriber count of over 500,000 and over 20 million video views. And in 2014, he released an EP entitled We'll Fall Together, which made it all the way to number 12 on the iTunes charts. With Austin being what many would call a teen heartthrob, it's unsurprising that the vast majority of his fanbase was made up of young teenage girls. In 2015, it was reported that Austin had been messaging some of these fans online, asking them to perform acts for him on video. As these rumors began to spread, an anonymous 15-year-old girl created a petition to have Austin removed from the 2015 Vans Warped Tour. The petition did not reach enough signatures, but Austin dropped out of the tour willingly and later uploaded a video to his channel entitled Setting the Record Straight, where he fully admitted that the allegations towards him were true and apologized for his actions. In 2017, Austin Jones was arrested on 2 counts of producing child porn. In 2019, Austin pleaded guilty to receiving the material, for which he was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison and is scheduled to be released on New Year's Eve 2027.
26-year-old YouTube sensation Austin Jones will head to prison. Prosecutors say from 2016 to 2017, he used his celebrity status to manipulate teenage girls who were fans of him, saying things like, "Prove you're my biggest fan." Prosecutors say he was obsessed with making the girls talk about their ages in these videos.
With his YouTube account terminated and all of his music removed from streaming services, it's safe to say that his career was well and truly destroyed by his actions. Austin let the fame go to his head, and it made him believe that he could use his fans' adoration for him to get them to perform acts to satisfy his sick desires. He's going to have plenty of time to think about this as he sits in prison where he belongs. Few, if any of you, will have heard of Nick Bate, as unlike everyone else who's appeared on this list so far, he did not have a huge following or fan base, but after I've explained who he is, I think you'll agree with me when I say that he is the worst person in this video so far. Nick Bate, real name Nick Stoutzenberger, was what can best be described as a lolcow. He was first discovered by the CWC board, which of course was a forum dedicated to Chris Chan, where people compared him to Chris due to his rather strange behaviour online. At first, people thought he was just a weirdo with some rather gross habits like never showering, never wiping after he'd used the bathroom, and never brushing his teeth. But they soon realised that they had something far worse on their hands when he openly admitted to being a paedophile and also stated that it should be legal for him to be that way. He also wrote songs about his fantasies regarding this detail about himself, which I will not be playing or naming because they are disgusting and I am legitimately concerned that YouTube will age restrict this video if I do so. His YouTube accounts are surprisingly tame considering what an obviously sick individual he is, with most of his videos just consisting of him rambling about nothing.
Hey nudists, it's everybody's favorite dude named Nick Bate. Nick Bate. Where am I, you may ask? Right here. Under the table. Just like all my sales deals. I have been playing Pokemon. That's pretty much it. Things I'm looking forward to. Pokemon Black and White versions. Also the new They Might Be Giants album. It's gonna be pretty cool. That's pretty much it. That's all I had planned.
However, there is one rather disturbing video on his main channel. In it, he plays a seemingly harmless and innocent game with this child, who is Nick's half-sister. However, Nick's sister would be the victim of a truly horrific crime committed by him. In 2015, Nick was arrested after it was reported to the police that he had molested her. He was sentenced to a maximum of 40 years in prison, with a minimum of 16.5. In a psychological evaluation performed on Nick before his arrest, he revealed that on top of his paedophilic urges, he also had homicidal thoughts towards his mother, stepfather, and aunt, which, considering how unstable he is, he most likely would have acted on had he not been apprehended. Obviously, as of this video, Nick is still incarcerated. He's appealed his sentence, but this was thankfully denied. Despite originally seeming like a harmless weirdo, Nick is clearly a dangerous man, and I honestly don't think he should ever be released. His half-sister is already going to have to deal with the memory of what happened to her for the rest of her life. She shouldn't have to worry about her brother one day getting out of prison, and instead, she should feel safe knowing that he'll be rotting in a jail cell for the rest of his life. Peluchin Entertainment is a 17-year-old Chilean former YouTuber who started uploading to the site in 2014 when he was only 10 years old. Initially, his content was diverse to say the least. Sometimes he'd upload videos of him sketching his stuffed animals, and other times he'd upload let's plays of horror games such as Five Nights at Freddy's, Slender, and SCP Containment Breach. More worryingly, however, he'd also upload some rather violent MS Paint animations, complete with blood, gore, and high-pitched screaming. At the end of 2018, he uploaded a video called Torso Slap, in which he recorded himself shoving an open can of cat food into the face of his cat, Jason Kruger. This would not be the last video he uploaded of him abusing his cat. The next one would be much, much worse. On December 18th, 2018, a video he'd uploaded and quickly deleted 2 weeks earlier resurfaced, showing him violently abusing the cat to the point where it later died of its injuries. After Jason Kruger's death, he bought 2 more kittens and also filmed himself abusing them as well, throwing one of them into his toilet. These videos attracted worldwide controversy on social media, with many people calling for his arrest. At one point, an angry mob apparently showed up at his house to get justice for the abused cats. Despite this, Peluchin shrugged off the hate he was getting, saying he didn't care about his cats and that he'd keep adopting them just so he could continue killing them. He also claimed he wanted to kill his mother. He'd also apparently tried to strangle his own cousin to death in the past. His videos sparked a trend amongst a particularly sick part of YouTube, where other people would also upload videos of them abusing their cats, all inspired by him. In September 2020, Critical uploaded a video discussing Peluchin's channel and how YouTube had failed to do anything to stop him, despite his history of animal abuse and the fact that he had inspired other channels to commit the same horrible acts.
And I knew about this, but I was under the impression that action was taken last I heard authorities were involved and his channel had been deleted. It wasn't until today where I found out that not only is his channel still fucking up where he is actively uploading videos, but he's also inspired a trend among Spanish-speaking YouTubers where they go out and beat and kill cats in his honor. For some fucking reason, this deranged loser has become some hero to animal abusers online.
On September 29th, 2020, Peluchin Entertainment's channel was terminated due to violating YouTube's terms of service. The same day, Lionmaker's channel was also removed. His second account, Peluchin Entertainment 2, was also terminated on the same day. He attempted to make a comeback on a third channel called Satan, which he made in October 2020, but this channel was eventually taken down in early 2021. Forget not being allowed on YouTube. This kid needs to go to prison for what he's done. He's clearly a very sick, twisted individual who can't control his violent tendencies and is a danger to everyone around him. It's awful enough that he killed one of his cats. The fact that he's tried to murder his own cousin is much worse. Peluchin Entertainment is a psychopath, and if he isn't brought to justice soon, there's no telling just how far he'll go. Rather than cover one channel with this entry, I'll be discussing an entire community. These channels present themselves as animal lovers who go around rescuing dogs and cats from dangerous situations and always taking them back to whatever their base of operations is to clean them up and feed them. Naturally, a lot of people were seeing these folk who run the channels as kind-hearted heroes, saving animals simply because it's the right thing to do. In reality, however, these channels are lying to their viewers. In August 2020, Nick Crowley uploaded a video entitled YouTube's Fake Animal Rescue Channels, in which it was revealed that these channels were putting the animals into these dangerous and obviously very painful situations themselves so that they could make nonsensical yet ultimately still clickbait titles to get people to watch these disturbing videos and make them hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad revenue. Nick's video opened a lot of people's eyes to the gruesome practices that these channels were pulling in order to make money from abusing these defenseless animals. Nick actually made 3 videos on these channels. The first 2 focus on the channels run by these 2 men, of which there were at least 9. Nick was able to figure out that these men were working together, as the videos on their respective channels would often feature the same situations, be filmed at the same locations, and even sometimes featured the same animals. These men were also confirmed to have killed at least 1 puppy, which they pretended to find dead on the highway. Nick's third video on the animal rescue ring revealed that there are possibly hundreds of these channels, many of which are operating out of Vietnam, a country where animal cruelty runs rampant. With how many of these channels that there are out there, hundreds if not thousands of animals will have most likely have been killed. Many have been removed for violating YouTube's policy on violent content after being reported by users who wised up to what these people were doing. However, countless fake animal rescue channels are still on the site, still killing animals and still making money doing it. Many people have criticized YouTube for failing to remove the channels that are still up and actually punishing those who were trying to expose these people. Nick Crowley's last video on the fake animal rescue channels was age restricted before YouTube did anything about the channels he exposed. If YouTube continues to turn a blind eye to these channels, more and more animals are going to suffer and die. Also, that these sick individuals can make money. Okay everyone, we're coming to the final stretch of the list now, and I believe I've saved the most evil individuals for last. These people are by far the worst of the worst in YouTube's 16-year history. These people are killers. Anthony Powell was a YouTuber whose content revolved solely around spewing hate towards atheists and African American women.
These motherfuckers have been caught on their bullshit. If anything X is the truth, I'm gonna tell you just how, I'm gonna show you and tell you just how pathetic and ignorant and stupid these atheists are. My God, it's beautiful. They're angry. They have so much rage and hate in them. Look at this. This is so fucking pathetic, I swear to God.
He'd gone through numerous accounts due to them being banned for his controversial videos. He began to receive waves of traffic after expressing his support of Sean Caron, aka Venom Fang X, who was the #1 most subscribed creationist Christian on the platform at the time, and also very controversial for his views and history. By the end of his career, his videos became more detached, and commenters expressed concerns for his mental health, and that he was potentially a danger to himself after he had expressed suicidal thoughts. Powell was studying film at Mackenzie Fine Arts Center at the Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, Michigan. Another YouTuber named Asia McGowan was also attending the college. Her YouTube channel consisted mostly of dance routines and comedy skits, but she was also an outspoken atheist and advocate for women's rights. As stated before, Powell was known for his hatred of atheism and African American women, so McGowan's views angered him, and he was reported to have harassed her at college several times. On April 13, 2009, Powell went to the college and headed straight for a classroom where McGowan was. This was the last time either of them were seen alive. An emergency call was made when sounds of an assault followed by a gunshot were heard. When the police arrived on the scene, they found both McGowan and Powell dead on the floor. Powell had shot McGowan before turning the gun on himself. In the wake of the shooting, the religious debate and skeptic community, including Venomfang X, came together to express their condolences to McGowan and Powell's families and discuss whether or not the event could have been prevented.
This video is concerning Tony48219. He was a user who has recently committed suicide after murdering a young woman. This is a tragedy and nothing but a tragedy. This is horrific, and if the families of either parties is watching this in whatever event, I want to express both my sympathy for what has happened as well as a few words of comfort. God loves you, and God loved Tony, and God loved the young lady who was killed. The fact is, we are responsible for the choices that we make, and Tony made a very erroneous and a wrong choice.
And discussed whether or not the event could have been prevented due to Powell's extreme views and speculation over the severity of his mental health issues, as his parents revealed he had a history of depression.
This is the Anthony Powell hundreds, perhaps thousands of people got to know on the internet. He had his own YouTube channel where he often went on rants about women, religion, and evolution.
The fairy tales of evolution is entertaining, it is satire, and this comment is the funniest comment ever.
And this is the 28-year-old his parents knew, seen here in his high school graduation photo and full of ambition.
All of Powell's channels have since been removed, and his videos are almost entirely lost. Asia McGowan's channel is still up to this day, with her last video being uploaded less than a week before her death. Trace Sessler was a YouTuber who began his career in September 2006 on the channel Lenscap Productions at the age of 17. At first, his channel was focused around comedy sketches that he'd make with his friends, the first of which being The Renters, which he uploaded the day his channel was created.
Where is my rent?
I don't know. Ask the hick.
It's over there. Over where? Over there. Ah, I see.
Eventually, he moved on to creating action videos, which were surprisingly violent, usually consisting of fight scenes involving swords and, I'm assuming, real guns that weren't loaded. As said, these videos were quite violent and contained a lot of fake gore, which Trey seemed to have a fascination with. At some point, Trey announced that he would be switching his content style, and the next day, he uploaded his very first anime review, which would be the debut of his nickname, Mr. Anime.
Alright, this being the first episode and review, I kind of wanted to start kind of strong and get this one out of the way. So that's right, I'm probably doing Inuyasha, the show that went on and on and on. But that's cool, right? Because we all love to watch shows that never stop. And not to mention, it had the shittiest ending I've ever seen out of any show, movie, play, Broadway musical, anything.
Despite never gaining a huge following, several reviewers who would go on to huge success in the field have cited him as an influence, most notably Giguk, who has since become one of the biggest anime-related channels on YouTube. In 2012, he uploaded a video entitled Mr. Anime is Planning Something. He never revealed exactly what he was planning, but he said he would be taking a 3-week break. Prior to this, there had been a couple of worrying videos on his channel. His review of High School of the Dead showed him holding a gun throughout the entire video, and another video showed a clearly intoxicated Trey testing a 9mm rifle.
You can call me the guy that does the video game reviews, you can call me the guy that does all the gun stuff now. Okay, so there's this old couch always under this bridge. Don't know who put it here. Just a really old couch. That's all it is. Basically, what I'm going to do is, and this is pretty childish and ridiculous, is blow up the couch.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Anime here. And well, I have some pretty good news. It's not Well, I have some kind of bad news, but it is good news. The good news is that I now have found a full-time job in a department that I'm interested in, which is film. I'm still going to be doing the Google thing though, and I'm still going to be doing videos. So keep supporting Mr. Anime. I'll still be doing anime reviews, but probably not as many because this job will be full-time. But thanks to all of y'all, I've been able to be recognized by some people, and I'm going to be doing some good stuff.
A week after he had announced to his viewers that he had found a job in the film industry, it was reported that Trey had committed a truly horrifying and unforgivable act. In the morning of March 20th, 2012, Trey lured his mother out into the garage where he shot her in the chest at point-blank range. From here, he entered his home and shot his brother in the head. His father was woken up by the shots and entered the living room to investigate, only to be shot by Trey later. From here, Trey destroyed the house and killed his pets, before carrying weapons and 100 rounds of ammunition to Waller High School down the street. His original plan was to kill at least 70 students at the school's pep rally in order to become the biggest mass murderer in history. He killed his family first to spare them from knowing what he planned on doing next. However, Trey backed out when it finally dawned on him what he'd done. He then turned around and went to a friend's house, where he confessed to what he had done. His friend then contacted the police and Trey turned himself in. As well as finding the body of his family at Trey's home, they also discovered that he had written several messages on the walls, clearly showing regret for what he'd done. These messages were, "Why did I do this? I love my mom, dad and brother. I miss my brother, father and mother. God, please forgive me, because I can't forgive myself." While interrogating Trey, police confirmed Trey had been practicing for the event for several years and had been using buildings and household pets as target practice. He also had a large fascination for shootings, mainly the Columbine massacre, and would even rank killers. Trey somehow avoided the death penalty and was instead sentenced to life in prison. He requested that his right to appeal for parole be taken away, as he believed he was too much of a danger to himself and others to be set free. He currently resides in just a 4-unit prison in Texas, after being transferred there from McConnell Prison in 2019. It's unknown where he'll be moved to next, but one thing that is known is that he'll remain behind bars until the day he dies. Randy Stair, or as he liked to be called, Andrew Blaze, was an American YouTuber who began his career in 2008 when he was 16 years old. His channel consisted of comedy sketches similar to those made by Make Me Bad 35. In fact, Randy even got him to collaborate with him in one video.
Randy.
Hey man, how's it going?
Look, I'm just calling because I made a huge mistake.
Oh, okay. So, you want me to send him back?
Yeah, I gotta patch things up with him. I just made a huge ass of myself.
Alright, well that's, no problem.
Can you put him on the phone?
What?
Can you put him on the phone?
Randy's videos weren't very good. The only thing he really had going for him was that he had a decent camera. The videos themselves had zero production value and mostly consisted of juvenile humor and characters that were just kids' toys. In his 8-year anniversary video, he admitted that most of the content created in his original channel was just ripping off other, much bigger creators like Smosh and James Rolfe.
I did videos over the years that were just parodies of other YouTubers. In the beginning, I started videos that were similar to Smosh with sketch videos that transitioned to stuff similar to Fred. Then it went into Make Me Bad 35 territory, and it just kept building up into this parody area. You know what sucks stuff, which people grew to love, which it makes me wonder what would have happened had I done more of those. But in all honesty, it was just a ripoff of James Nintendo Nerds. It's bullshit. Not James Nintendo Nerd, the angry video game nerd, you know who I mean.
Eventually, Randy would change his content completely to a much darker and stranger style. He created Ember's Ghost Squad, a channel based around the character Ember McLean from the cartoon series Danny Phantom, created by Butch Hartman. Randy had a deep obsession with the character, saying that from the moment he first saw her, something resonated within him.
Like if you look on the poster behind me, those were inspired by Ember McLean, which is a ghost from a TV show called Danny Phantom. But this ghost, this woman always connected with me. Ever since I first saw her, something changed. And it wasn't like I grew up or anything like that. Like I realized, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to girls and all this. No, it just, something changed. It was like a spark. And it just connected with me. It made me feel warm inside. And it felt very familiar, which was strange. It was like I'd seen her before. And I just grew attached to her, unlike anything I ever have in my life. was like my first crush, and it's a cartoon, you know? It's kind of crazy to think of it that way, but that's the truth.
Ember's Ghost Squad was a series made as a way for Randy to live out his fantasy of being able to live in Ember's world.
For the love of Ember, Froggy, you're a ghost! Ghosts don't eat!
The series was known for being very dark, violent, and in some cases, disturbing. It was clear that this series was greatly affecting Randy's mental health. He began believing that the characters he created were real, including the character he made as a persona for himself, Andrew Blaze. To that end, Randy had decided that he wanted to die and be reborn as Andrew Blaze so he could join Ember's Ghost Squad for real. It's worth noting that Randy was also a huge fan of Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold and frequented a Columbine fan forum. On June 8, 2017, all of the EGS Twitter accounts posted links to a Mediafire page containing a journal and over 10 hours worth of videos. These videos detailed his plans to commit a mass shooting at the supermarket he worked at. On the same day he posted the Mediafire links, Randy blocked off all of the exits to the supermarket and began firing at everyone in his way with a shotgun, killing 3 people before turning the gun on himself. Randy had always intended to take his own life, but his attack on the supermarket was actually decided via a coin toss.
Got a 1983 quarter right here. You believe in fate? Here's the fate test. I'm gonna flip this 3 times. Or the best out of 3, rather. If it's heads, I'll do it here. If it's tails, supermarket. Tails.
Ember's Ghost Squad wasn't his only motivation for what he did. His other reasons included the bullying he received in high school, his hatred for his parents, his bitterness over his lack of success on YouTube, and his general hatred for the world. It's honestly hard to feel sorry for him though, as he chose to take innocent lives as an act of revenge against the world that he felt had shunned him, rather than try to get help. If he had actually gotten help, 3 people would probably still be alive now, and wouldn't have had to die for Randy's sick, twisted fantasy to come true. This one is only going to be a very short entry. Alyssa Day Vault is a makeup YouTuber who became infamous for having murdered her 2 newborns in her home. These were actually back-to-back pregnancies between 2017 and 2018. In 2020, she was found guilty of these murder charges and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. There's unfortunately not a lot of information about Alyssa before this event took place, but I believe we can all agree that for killing her own newborn babies, she can definitely be considered the most despicable person on this list. How she managed to avoid life in prison is beyond me. She also has 2 daughters who are now middle school aged, and they are going to have to live with the fact that their mother is a cold-blooded killer who murdered their baby siblings for the rest of their lives. And that's the end of the video, folks. If you were expecting people like Keemstar, the Paul brothers, or Maximilian Must to be on this list, then I'm sorry I disappointed you. They may all be assholes, but none of them really qualify as evil enough for a video like this. You know the people on this list are bad when J-Station and Onision are the least evil channels on here. In regards to fake animal rescue channels, I've actually made 2 videos about them in the past, but I had to take them down because one of them, a guy who operated a channel called Pets Rescue, was sending privacy complaints against me and basically trying to get my channel taken down for exposing him. His channel was taken down a while back, but he's still making new ones, though these channels never really go anywhere. There's obviously other YouTube killers that I could have included, but I was afraid the video would be too long if I included any more. Plus, some stories like that of Reflay, the Russian YouTuber who murdered his girlfriend in a livestream for $1,000, would most likely get this video age restricted. If there's any people you think should have been on this list, then by all means, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you're new, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.